Welcome back, my minions. Dragano the Dragon King here, bringing you my first ever Warframe guide. Today I will be going over the new event, Prime Resurgence, what it is, what it means, the new currencies that it brings, Aya and Regal Aya, and the best places to farm and the best farming methods. Now, first off, what is Prime Resurgence? Prime Resurgence is a brand new event to Warframe. It's never been around before, brand new. That is a alternative to the Prime Vault. So instead of having two Warframes and their respective weapons coming out of the Prime Vault and sticking around for like 3 months and then going back into the Vault for another set to come out, there will be several Prime packs that will alternate each week. So it kind of only gives you a week to get the primes, but there's a lot more available than just a normal prime unvaulting. So with this event comes with new currencies, Aya and Regal Aya. These are the currencies you need in order to get your desired primes from the event. So what is Aya and Regal Aya? Aya is the free-to-play currency that is farmed in normal missions in the Void, as well as bounties from the open world areas, Cetus, Fortuna, Deimos. And you also have a chance to obtain an Aya through relic packs, either ones you get from the syndicates or ones that you buy from the marketplace. I'll go ahead and say that getting Aya from relic packs is not very reliable, but it's a nice little bonus in addition to the farming methods. Regal Aya, however, is the premium currency. It's the premium version of regular Aya that is purchased with real life money. So if you go to the market here, you can bring up Regal Aya. And as you can see here, you get 3 Regal Aya and 200 Platinum, thanks to the outcry of the community. Because before the Platinum was added in, these packs were complete ripoffs. But now they include some Platinum, so they're a bit better, but I still don't recommend them. But if you insist on getting Regal Aya, you get 3 Regal Aya and 200 Platinum for $20 USD. Or you can get 7 Regal Aya and 400 Platinum for 40 USD. And then you have 15 Regal Aya and 1200 Platinum for 80 USD. With the Platinum included, these are much better than what they were. I still think they're not very cost efficient for what you get. So I recommend staying away from these unless you really want some Prime accessories. But you also have down here the exchange rates for Regal Aya. So as you can see, you can get 1 Prime Warframe with 3 Regal Aya. And if you purchase Prime Warframe in this way, you get a Warframe slot. And the Warframe also comes pre-installed with a Oregon reactor. Or you can purchase a Prime weapon for 2 Regal Aya. This comes with a weapon slot as well as a Oregon catalyst installed. And then you have down here Prime customization for 1 to 2 Regal Aya. This is all the accessories. So, like, there's the Prime extractors, armor sets, Syndonas, those types of things. Then you have Prime Noggles, which are usually awarded to people who buy the Prime Vault packs at the end of the year. All the Primes all the Prime Warframes that are available in this event you can buy for 1 Regal Aya. And then you have bundles. The Prime bundle will, for 6 Regal Aya, will include 1 Warframe, that Warframe's associated weapons, and accessories. Again, all Warframes and weapons purchased this way come with slots and pre-installed either Orokin reactors or catalysts. And then you have the dual bundle for 10 Regal Aya. So that's both Warframes, all their weapons, all their accessories. As you can see, you can get a dual bundle for 10 Regal Aya, but the biggest pack you get is 15, and then a single is 6. So if you have a rotation that you want both, you can spend the $80, get the 15 Regal Aya, get the bundle, and then maybe the next rotation there's only one that you want. You can't spend the 6 Regal Aya to get the singular bundle, as you'll be short 1 Regal Aya. It's kind of a crappy thing to do, but, you know, DE's a company. It's a free-to-play game. They have to make money somehow. We as players may not agree with it, but that's how it is. They already made up with us a little bit by adding in platinum to these packs. Anybody that purchased Regal Aya before the platinum was added will receive platinum in your inbox retroactively for each pack that you bought. So that's also good. Like any company, DE drops the ball every once in a while, but unlike a lot of companies, DE are pretty quick to make up for it, as they do care about their community. May not always seem that way, but they do. So I do like the addition of the platinum, although I myself probably will not be spending any money on Regal Aya. But what do you do once you have this Aya or Regal Aya? Well, there's a new NPC, and if we go to Mars and Maru's Bazaar, when you get here, you will see Maru herself. But if you come back over here, you see the new NPC, Varzia. This is where you come to spend your Aya, either free-to-play Aya or Regal Aya. So if you browse her wares, you can see her entire inventory here. So you got the packs and the dual pack up top here, and then you have all the individual things down here, the frames, weapons, the accessories. Then there are the relics and the noggles and a bunch of other cool stuff. There's also a few other things that you can get with regular Aya if you have everything, or if you just end up farming an obscene amount of Aya. You can get this Lisette skin, a Syndana, a Necroloid Glyph and Sigil bundle, or you can trade in Aya for Ducats. Is 1 Aya for 5 Ducats. So it's pretty good there. Again, if you have everything, you're probably not hurting for Ducats, but I do kind of like that you can exchange Aya for Ducats. Even if you don't have anything, or even if you do have everything, or if you don't have everything, by the end of the event and you do have everything, then you can just get this extra stuff. And if you have the skin, the Syndana, and the Glyph and Sigil bundle, you can just spend any remaining Aya you have on Ducats. She may have other things once the event is over. They have said that once the event is over, Varzia will still be here, and she'll have inventory for people to spend any unused Aya or Regal Aya on various other items. Not any of the Prime stuff, but she'll have other things in her inventory that you can purchase with any leftover that you have. But regular Aya is spent on relics, so you still have to farm for your Prime parts. But here is where you get the relics, and she just pops them out of her Aya 3D printer, and you can collect them here and go crack them and hopefully get what you're looking for. Now, as you can see, this week is Mag and Nova Prime. And you can also get Boar Prime, Dacra Prime, Soma Prime, Vosto, and Akvosto Prime. Even though Akvosto Prime is not listed here, you can't purchase it with Regal Aya. You can get it through one of the relics that she has available. She also has Burston Prime, Fang Prime, Lex Prime, and Bratton Prime. So what are the next rotations? Well, let's go through those briefly here. We already know Rotation 1. It's already out. And this lasts until the 23rd. And then from the 23rd through the 30th of November, we have Rotation 2, which will be Limbo and Trinity Prime. And they'll come along with Piranha Prime, Destreza Prime, Dulcamas Prime, and the Kavasa Prime Kubro Collar. The weapons aren't too great. I add them to your arsenal for mastery, but that's about all they're going to be good for. Piranha Prime is pretty cool, though. It can be a lot of fun. It's a nice shotgun secondary. As a special passive, after 5 kills, you pull out a phantom one and dual wield them for a while. So that's pretty cool. And then Limbo Prime and Trinity Prime are pretty nice to have. Trinity Prime, the problem with her is Wisp exists. So that's unfortunate for her. Limbo is nice. Limbo just trivializes so many missions with his rift abilities. And for some reason, whenever DE adds something new in the game, Limbo always breaks it. Apparently they forget he's a thing whenever they add in something new. And then after that, the next week, Rotation 3, from November 30th to December 7th, we have Mesa and Hydroid. Unfortunately, Hydroid is not that great of a frame right now. I think he needs a bit of a rework. And you can farm resources with him with his Pilfering Swarm augment, but Necros and Core are just so much better at it. Unfortunately, Hydroid's in a bit of a bad spot. Mesa Prime, however, she's definitely one to go for. Mesa Prime is one of the best frames in the game. She's just overall really good. And they will come with Akjagara Prime, Ballistica Prime, Namiskala Prime, and Redeemer Prime. The only ones out of those that are really worthwhile would be Redeemer Prime. It's a really good gunblade, capable of insane amounts of damage. Some people even use it for Eidolon hunting. You can break limbs pretty easily with it. I think some people also use it for Necromech hunting, although I think the Stropha is a more popular option. But after that, Rotation 4, we have from December 7th to the 14th, Volt and Loki Prime. And with them will come Bow Prime, Odonata Prime, the only Prime Archwing in the game right now, and Worm Prime. Loki Prime, while kinda underwhelming, there are some other Warframes that do what he does better, but for whatever reason, he's worth like 400 platinum on the market. So, I mean, if you already have him, farm him for some easy plat. If you don't have him, get him and maybe try to farm at least one more set to sell for platinum later, you know? Doesn't hurt. Odonata Prime is kind of meh. I mean, Amisha is the far superior Archwing. Worm Prime, however, if you're still trying to rank up your mastery, which you probably are, Prime Sentinels are worth 9,000 mastery experience. 6,000 for the Sentinel itself, and 3,000 for its weapon. And the Sentinel always comes with the Prime variant of its weapon. So definitely try to get Worm Prime for the mastery experience, if nothing else. And then the next week, Rotation 5, from December 14th through the 21st, we have Vauban and Ash Prime. And with them will come Vectus Prime, Axtiletto Prime, Fragor Prime, and Carrier Prime. Vauban and Ash, both good Warframes. Vauban needs a bit of investment to really make him good, especially on Steel Path, but he can be used on Steel Path. He is a good Warframe to have. Just overall great CC, excellent crowd control, grouping, really good frame. Excuse me. And then we have Ash Prime. Ash Prime, again, is a really good frame. He's capable of really high slash damage. He has invisibility. He has armor stripping with his Seeking Shuriken augment. It's just overall a good frame. As far as the other stuff in this pack goes, and Carrier Prime, again, no brainer. Sentinel's worth a lot of mastery experience. Carrier's one of the better Sentinels. Vectis Prime is a great alternative if you don't have Rubico Prime. Vectis is a very strong sniper. So if you don't have Rubico Prime, the Vectis will do you just fine until you are able to get Rubico, or even if you don't get Rubico. Vectis is still a good sniper. Extiletto Prime, kind of meh, but Fragor Prime is in like a weird spot where as a weapon it's not that great, but as a stat stick it's actually a pretty solid choice because Fragor Prime has a unique passive where it actually starts off with a higher combo multiplier. Or a higher initial combo multiplier. So you don't have to build up combo as much. So it makes a pretty good stat stick. Then after that, rotation 6 from December 21st to the 28th, we have Oberon and Necros Prime. And they will come with Tigris Prime, Cerberus Prime, Galatine Prime, and Silva and Aegis Prime. Oberon, much like Trinity, suffers from Wisp is a Thing syndrome. So he's not as great as he once was. He's still a good frame. If you want to get him and use him, he'll serve you just fine. I think he's still a pretty solid frame. Necros, obviously, it's Necros. You go to a mission, you press 3, nobody's going to be mad at you. Tigris Prime is not as good as it used to be. It used to be a lot more meta and a lot better of a weapon. It's kind of fallen off in years, but it's still an okay weapon. Sylvan Aegis Prime is really good. Sword and shields are fairly good melees. It has innate heat damage, so that's good. Heat's one of the best statuses in the game. It's arguably the best standalone status without combining it with anything else. So I'll most definitely be going for Sylvan Aegis during this, as well as rounding out Oberon. Then after that, rotation 7 from December 28th through January 4th, we have Valkyr and Saren Prime. And they will come with Ceranos Prime, Spira Prime, Nikana Prime, and Venka Prime. Now, Valkyr is a really good Warframe. One of my favorites, in fact. I love her. She's an absolutely amazing and fun Warframe to play. But I wouldn't worry too much about getting her, as she is permanently unvaulted. And you can get relics containing her and Nyx's parts through Railjack. Saren Prime, though, is not permanently unvaulted, and again is one of the best Warframes in the game. Go into a mission, press 1, and just watch everything die. As far as the weapons go, Nikanas are always good, so Nikana Prime is, a fairly solid choice. If you like claws, Venka Prime is good. Venka Prime has a unique passive where its combo multiplier can actually go up to 13. I've seen conflicting information whether or not this works with Acolyte mods, Blood Rush and Weeping Wounds. It appears that it does, although I can't conclusively say that it does. But if it does, that's extra crit chance and status chance that you can squeeze out of Venka Prime. So another good melee to pick up. Then after that, rotation 8 from January 4th through the 11th, we have Ember and Frost Prime. And with them will come Latron Prime, Cetus Prime, Reaper Prime, and Glaive Prime. The problem with Frost is he's not that great of a frame. He's in dire need of a rework. He's really fallen off in years. He's just not as useful as he once was. Again, if you pick him up, it'll probably be for mastery. Ember Prime did receive a rework, and she is a lot better now, in my opinion. She spreads heat like crazy. Again, heat is really good. She has crowd control. She has good damage reduction with her second ability. So just overall a good frame. The big takeaway from this pack are the melees. Reaper Prime is a really good melee to have. So I would really recommend picking that up. And Glaive Prime is also one of the best melees and arguably the best glaive in the entire game. And Glaive Prime has this thing where its throw attack, I believe, actually has a guaranteed slash proc that no other glaive has. So that alone makes it good. I believe it's guaranteed. Don't quote me on that, but I think it's guaranteed. If it's not guaranteed, it's at least capable of proccing slash off of its throw. And then after that, we start the Last Chance. So Last Chance Part 1 will be January 11th through the 18th. And this will include Mag, Nova, Limbo, Trinity, Hydroid, Mesa, Vault, Loki, and Rhino and Nyx, who were just vaulted at the beginning of this event. The day this event went live, they went into the vault. And they will be coming back for both Last Chances. So that'll be Nyx and Rhino Prime, along with Boltor Prime, Hiko Prime, Sindo Prime, and Enkiros Prime. The weapons are all kind of meh. Rhino, again, is kind of meh. There's other tanks out there that are better at tanking. And Nyx Prime, I think she's rather underrated. But Nyx Prime, like Valkyrie Prime, is permanently unvaulted. You can obtain their relics through Void Storms, or not Void Storms, but through Railjack missions. And then after that, we have Last Chance Part 2, which will be Ash, Vauban, Necros, Oberon, Saren, Valkyrie, Ember, Frost, and again, Rhino and Nyx. So that's the lineup for the event. As you can see, it is going on now until January 25th, which will be the end of the event. So make sure that you get out there and farm up Aya so that you can get everything that you want from these rotations. Even if you have a lot of this stuff, like Rotation 3 with Mesa and Hydroid, I have pretty much everything from this. I still recommend farming the crap out of Aya. Because even if you don't need anything from one of the rotations, you might in another rotation. So that gives you an extra chance to get what you need, because you'll have more Aya saved up. So then you can spend that on more relics to try to get what you need, especially for some of those rarer pieces. And then you can always spend it here at the Last Chances. If you miss anything, maybe there's a part or two that you weren't able to get during the week that the rotation was live. Or maybe you just want to round out some extra sets to sell for platinum later. Again, the market is going to tank while this event is live. So you're not going to really get much for these prime frames or weapons while the event is up. But after the event goes away, we're not really sure if this will become a recurring thing or if we'll just go back to the regular Prime Vault method, where a set comes out and stays around for about 3 months or so and then goes back and another one replaces it. So if this does not become a recurring thing, prices will go back up and you'll be able to sell your stuff then. So go ahead and farm sets, wait for the event to end, see what's going to happen, and see what the market's going to be like. If this does not become a recurring thing again, prices will go back up, and then you can sell your extra prime sets and parts for some platinum. Alright, that being said, now that we know what Prime Resurgence is, what Aya is, and what Regal Aya is, what you get with them, where to get the rewards with it, where do you farm it, and what's the best way to farm it. So if we come to our star chart, again, you can farm Aya from missions in the void or from bounties in the open world areas. Cetus, Fortuna, and Deimos. Void, by far, is the worst option, as the drop tables are too oversaturated with other reward possibilities. However, in most cases, Aya does have the same drop chance as the other rewards, but there's just so many other things that the odds of getting Aya are pretty slim. That being said, if you do insist farming Aya in the void for one reason or the other, I do have a few recommendations. First of which, the obvious choice, capture. So either Habit or Yuko. Habit has a 6.67% chance to drop Aya, and Yuko has 8.33% chance to drop Aya. So obviously the higher level missions, the higher percentage you're going to have of Aya dropping. So definitely do Uko instead of Habit, but if you're rather new to the game and you're trying to farm out some of this event too, to try and maybe get the prime variant of one of your favorite frames that you found so far, and you can't do Uko, maybe do Habit instead. Other than that, maybe try Annie or Mott, and I'll put up the percentages, the drop percentages for Aya on the screen now. And it's a fairly long spreadsheet of all the locations and bounty stages and everything with all the percentages. So I'll scroll through it. If you need to pause the video to take a look at it, to maybe take a look for yourself, go ahead and do so. You can also just Google Aya drop chances and you can find it that way, but I'll have it up on screen for you for convenience. Pause the video if you need to. I also recommend maybe doing a endless, so the survival on either Annie or Mott. I will say, however, I did do a 40-minute run of survival on Mott the day the event dropped, and I didn't get a single Aya in 40 minutes. So that kind of sucks. So you can have better luck than me and maybe get a bunch of Aya, or you can have really bad luck and get next to no Aya from running any of these missions. Another recommendation I have is maybe running Marduk. It's a sabotage. It's a higher level sabotage. But if you're going to run void missions, why not try to make a little extra from it? Marduk has a chance to drop the Xiphos Avionics ship part, which I believe is worth about 40 platinum on the market. And it also has a chance to drop the Bullet Dance stance for Gunblades. So if you don't have a Gunblade stance and you get Redeemer Prime from the Mesa and Hydroid rotation, then you can come here and get Bullet Dance. And Bullet Dance is also worth about 50 to, I think, like 150 platinum on the market. It's an expensive mod. So you can come here, farm Aya, and while you're at it, try to farm some stuff for platinum as well. The drop chances on Bullet Dance and the Zyphos Avionics are still really bad, so the odds of you getting those and or Aya is really slim. I will say though, to get the Aya or to get Bullet Dance or the Zyphos ship part, you do have to find all 3 caches in the sabotage. So to keep that in mind, this will be a bit slower than running the survivals and way slower than running the captures. The captures in the Void are obviously the fastest and most efficient way, but overall, the Void's just bad. The drop rates are bad. So, what about the open worlds then? If you pay attention to the spreadsheet, Deimos by far has the worst drop chances for Aya from the bounties. And it's worth to note that is from regular bounties. Aya does not drop from ISO vaults, so don't bother doing those. You will get no Aya. But the bounties also have like a pretty bad drop rate compared to the other open world areas. Only do Deimos if you're running normal bounties for other things that you're missing, like Zaku, Quasis, Blood Rush, and Weeping Wounds, or just trying to farm some resources that you need from Deimos. Other than that, I don't recommend Deimos at all. So then, what about Fortuna? Fortuna bounties have the best drop rate for Aya, with Tier 5, aka Steel Path bounties, having about a 50% chance to drop on the final stage. So your odds of getting Aya from Fortuna is really good. If you're not Steel Path yet, or if your builds aren't up to snuff yet for Steel Path, the Tier 4 bounties are almost as good. They're just slightly lower than the Steel Path ones. So you'll be fine doing those. The problem I have with Fortuna bounties is ever since Fortuna dropped, the bounties have been pretty buggy. So sometimes when you're running a bounty, certain things will happen that you cannot complete bonus objectives, where you want to complete all the bonus objectives because that gives you a chance at an extra reward at the end of the mission, which could be another Aya. And sometimes it bugs out that you're just completely unable to complete the objective at all. So then you have to go back into Fortuna and reset and come back out. It's really annoying, and it really cuts down on the efficiency of farming. So Fortuna does have the better drop rates, but I find it unreliable because of the bounty bugs. If DE fixes those bugs, then this would be by far the best way to farm Aya. And you still can, it's just be prepared to reset occasionally, or occasionally not be able to get your bonuses completed. So then what about Cetus? Cetus is an in-between of Deimos and Fortuna. It's better than Deimos, and it's just slightly under Fortuna. But there is a special thing about Cetus, and I will show you that right now. So you come into Cetus, fast travel over to Kanzu, and right now the ghoul bounties are up. You got the ghoul event going on. So if you look at the regular bounties, Tier 1 bounty doesn't even have Aya in it at all. Sometimes the Tier 1s will have Aya and it'll be a rare reward. So avoid Tier 1s. Those are no good. And then Tier 2 and up on all the open world bounties will have Aya as an uncommon drop. Ghoul bounties, however, have Aya as a common drop. And on stage 1 of the bounty, Aya has about a 25% chance to drop from ghoul bounties. So we'll take a bounty right here, and we'll go try to complete the objective real quick. Oh, there's always a major lag spike in here for me. So you're going to get out on the plains. You get out here, escape, Nightwave to shut up Kanzu. That gets the objective to show up a little bit faster. Not much, but a couple of seconds. So it looks like the first stage we got an armored vault on this one. So we will go do that real quick. So this is rather unideal. You don't really want a long one like this as your first stage. But sometimes that's you can't really be helped. I really like this Kuva Grattler. I need to finish ranking it up. As you can see for this, it does just fine. Now, of course, you don't need a Necromech to do this. I just like using my mech. Alright, it's unlocked. Did not get any Aya. That's rather unfortunate, but RNG is a thing. So then you get the second stage of the bounty. So you're going to go to the second stage and then leave. I failed it. So then what you want to do, you want to come over here, take the bounty again. Wait for the countdown. Shut Kanzu up again. Crap. And then go and do the first stage again. I got Armored Vault again. This can be something different. There was a thing where you could go in, reset, and redo the first part over again, and it would give you the same thing over and over again, so you would get an ideal run, and you would just stay out here and do it over and over and over. It works a lot better if you have multiple people and have one person stay at the tent and have other people in your squad spread out so they can go do the first objective and then cancel it. But again, ideally you don't want this as your first objective, something long like this. Ideally you want like a capture or a rescue target. But we're going to go back in. That's pretty much the basis of it. It was that when you went out, it would be the same thing every single time. But it appears DE has taken notice of that, decided it was an exploit, and patched it. Because now, after some testing, after doing it the first time and retaking the quest out there in the plains, it changes it. It didn't used to do that. So they've already patched that. But that's still the most efficient way of farming Aya. You go out, do the first stage of the ghoul bounty, and then either fail the second stage and take the bounty again, or come back into Cetus and reset. You can also abandon objective back into Cetus. I don't recommend doing that if you're in like a public squad, and if you're in the squad together, and you can do that, but it would just be easier for you all to come back in the gate. And that's basically it. So we've gone over what Prime Resurgence is, what Aya and Regal Aya are, what they're used for, how to get them, the best farming methods. If you all enjoyed the video, please leave a like on it, as it helps out the channel. I'm trying to get the channel to grow. I've neglected the channel a lot. I'm trying to get back into it now and really build it up. I'm hoping that I can muster up a video a week at least. So also subscribe for more future content, both Warframe related and other. You can also catch me over on Twitch, where I stream every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. And every Wednesday I do play Warframe, every single Wednesday. And I also stream a smattering of other games. Also, feel free to follow me on Twitter, as I post on there when I go live and when a new video is up, as well as just an occasional shitpost and funny meme, and interact with all the friends and community members on there. So I hope you all enjoyed this and found it informative. Get out there and farm some Aya and some Prime Warframes and weapons and others to round out your arsenal and build up that mastery. And until next time, peace out.